In the heart of a sun-drenched valley, a village named Umo sat in the shadow of a colossal baobab tree. Its roots were said to be so deep they drank from the river of the ancestors, and its branches, wide and gnarled, provided a canopy of wisdom and peace. The people of Umo believed the tree was the heart of their village, and its most revered guardian was a man named Afolabi. Afolabi was more than just a man. He was a snake charmer of legendary power. He could summon cobras with a mere whisper and lull vipers to sleep with the melody of his flute, a long, polished bone carved with the markings of ancient spirits. The villagers both respected and feared his gift, for they knew that magic, like a snake, had a venomous bite. In Umo lived a young man named Kofi, whose heart was as restless as the savanna winds. He was in love with Aisha, a maiden whose beauty was said to be a gift from the river spirits. Kofi's love was true, but his ambition was a fierce, jealous fire. He yearned to be seen as a man of power and importance, not just a simple farmer. He believed that if he could possess Afolabi's magic, he could win Aisha's hand and earn the eternal respect of his people. One day, while the village was celebrating the harvest, Kofi watched Afolabi perform his rituals. He saw him place his sacred flute in a small pouch of magical herbs at the base of the baobab tree before entering a trance. The opportunity was too tempting. Kofi, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm, saw his chance. He waited until the village was distracted by the festivities, and in a moment of reckless desperation, he crept to the tree. He snatched the flute in the pouch, his hands trembling as he felt the surge of a dark, unfamiliar power. He ran to Aisha, breathless with a misguided sense of triumph. "Look, my love," he exclaimed, holding out the stolen items. "I have taken Afolabi's power. With this, I will be a man of great importance, and we can be together forever, a true king and queen of our people." But Aisha's face was not filled with awe. It was a mask of fear. "Kofi, no," she cried. "You have betrayed the trust of our village, and the magic of Afolabi is not meant for one with a heart so filled with greed. You must return it now, before a great curse befalls us all." But it was too late. Afolabi, awakening from his trance, felt the absence of his sacred items. He knew instantly who had taken them, for his magic was tied to the very earth of Umo. With a furious roar that silenced the festival, he emerged from the tree's shadow, his eyes burning like embers. "Kofi," he boomed, his voice like rolling thunder. "You have betrayed me, your village, and the sacred trust of our ancestors. You sought power through deceit, and now you shall become a part of the very earth you have desecrated." As Afolabi spoke, he raised his hands. The sacred tree began to tremble violently. The air grew cold, and a strange humming sound filled the valley. Kofi, gripped by a sudden, paralyzing fear, tried to run, but his feet were rooted to the ground. His body began to glow with a faint, otherworldly light. The magical flute and pouch fell from his hands, now inert and powerless. "May your spirit be bound to the leaves of this tree," Afolabi chanted, his voice a chilling incantation. "May your voice be a whisper on the wind, a mournful song for a life stolen by greed, and a love that was tainted by lies." In a flash of blinding light, Kofi's body dissolved into a cloud of dust that swirled upwards, disappearing into the vast canopy of the baobab tree. There was no body, no grave, only the eerie silence that followed a terrible magic. Aisha was heartbroken. For weeks, she grieved at the base of the tree. The villagers, in their fear, avoided the sacred ground. But one evening, as Aisha wept, she heard a sound. Not a voice, but a gentle rustling of leaves. It was Kofi's voice, a soft, sorrowful whisper carried on the breeze. "Aisha," the wind sighed, "my love, I am here. Afolabi's magic has bound me, a prisoner to this tree. My betrayal was a moment of foolish ambition. He is not a guardian, but a tyrant. His power is a poison, not a gift. Tell the others, warn them. My love for you, it is all that remains." From that day forward, Aisha became the bridge between the living and the dead. She would go to the tree and listen to Kofi's ghost, a sad and eternal presence. He would tell her stories of the ancestors and warn her of dangers. She, in turn, shared his whispers with the village elders. The people of Umo began to see Afolabi not as a guardian, but as a man whose power came at a terrible price. His magic was not for the good of the village, but for his own selfish gain. Afolabi's grip on the village slowly weakened. No longer did the people revere him, but instead they turned their ears to the wisdom that came from the whispers of the baobab tree, from the ghost of a young man who had made a terrible mistake. And though Kofi's ghost could never be set free, his spirit found a strange kind of peace. He was with his love, Aisha, a part of the sacred heart of the village. His ghostly voice served as a timeless lesson, a mournful song on the wind, reminding all who heard it of the fine line between true love and selfish ambition, and the deep, eternal consequences of betrayal. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the heart of Umo. If you were moved by the story of Kofi, Afolabi, and the powerful lessons of the sacred baobab, please consider hitting the like button. To hear more tales of love, betrayal, and the timeless magic of folklore, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss our next story.